What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nick, and based on this little blurb right here, my name is also Tetra Ninja, and today's video is going to be just an in-depth character video where I'm showing you guys all the different guardians I have made in the game Destiny, their different armor and gear, finishing off with all the exotic and legendary weapons I have acquired. I know that some of you will care and then some of you guys will not care, because Destiny has probably been one of the most polarizing games that has come out in a very long time. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it, some people have been disappointed, but overall I have enjoyed playing it so far with my friends. As you can probably tell, I have 3 characters. I created one of each class, and yeah, today, like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys each one of them. We'll start off with the last character that I created, which is the Hunter. And Hunter probably is my least favorite character. I know a lot of you guys will find that blasphemous because you guys love your hunters out there. It's the best character in my opinion for PvP, that is the online matchmaking, just because its super abilities are very PvP oriented, such as the Golden Gun or the Arc Blader. But I don't know, I just don't, it's not my jam, not really feeling it. So yeah, so we'll start off with the armor. So I'm using the Actiophage Symbiote, which is the headpiece, which gives you an extra shot with your Golden Gun. The Golden Gun super is basically a one-shot KO. Normally you get 3, but with this helmet equipped you get 4 shots. And the other gear that I have is basically just gear that I acquired. I didn't really take much time in gathering it and choosing it. It's basically whatever came to me first. It's kind of mismatch. I'm actually using the Queen's Guard vest, which is probably one of the most generic legendaries that you'll ever get in this game, but I just really wanted to get a character level really quickly in order to do the raids. So if you're wondering, to get to level 30, you need either 3 raid pieces, armor pieces, and 1 exotic armor, or all 4 raid pieces. The accessory item doesn't count, it doesn't carry light, but all exotic and all raid pieces carry 30 light, which you need to, funny enough, get to level 30. So yeah, nothing really too crazy and impressive with all this legendary gear. I do have some other exotic chest pieces, but you only can equip 1 exotic gear at a time. So yeah, that's the Hunter class. In terms of which one I prefer, I actually prefer using the Gunslinger if I'm playing as the Hunter. I don't know, it's just what I prefer. So yeah, nothing too crazy. That is my ship, if you're wondering. And the emblem is the level, you get this emblem from the Future War Cult. It's one of the ones that you can get once you level it up all the way to rank 3. If you have no idea what I'm talking about at this point, just trust me. If you play Destiny, you'll know. So yeah, we'll jump right into the Titan, which is a pretty fun class to play, especially the bubble ability comes into very handy. But anyways, so in this character, I am using the Helm of Inmost Light for the headpiece, which is probably the best exotic gear in my opinion in the entire game, because it gives you automatically 2 of the attributes. So it gives you Headstrong and Death from Above. Sorry, not Headstrong. Yeah, Headstrong. So basically with this one, instead of choosing Death from Above, you can choose Aftermath, which is what I use, or you can use Shockwave, so you don't have to actually select it. And for this class right here, you can use Aftershocks because you automatically get Headstrong. So yeah, and I enjoy shoulder charging people, which is probably why I like using the Titan class, because shoulder charging people is just really funny when you pull it off. It's really easy to do. So yeah, I don't have the raid helmet yet, so yeah, I don't have that, but I don't plan to use the raid helmet because I think it looks kind of stupid because it has like a little antenna above the head. But I do have the raid gauntlets and the raid chest piece. The raid helmet you can only get on the hard mode of Vault of Glass, whereas the boots, which I don't have, the chest piece and the gauntlets you can get on the normal mode. I prefer using this accessory item, just because it looks really cool, the light upgrade prism. But right now I'm just I'm using the faction ones just to level them up, just for the fun of it. Yeah, so that's my hunter, and the emblem is the emblem you get for leveling up the new monarchy faction. So yeah, that's my Titan. This is the raid setup that I use. If I'm playing PvP, I generally like to use these shoulder pads, just because, or these gauntlets, just because they give you a faster reload with your auto rifles. Yeah, and generally I use my auto rifle more than my secondary. But yeah, so we'll get to my favorite character, and which is the character that I created first, and I did my entire Let's Play walkthrough on, which is my Warlock, and he is super decked out, and he has been only super decked out recently. I actually did not have any raid pieces going into last week for this character, but then I played Vault of Glass once on hard, and the RNG, or the random number generator, which is the chances of you getting raid gear, was really good, and I actually got all my raid pieces in one single raid. But that sounds lucky, but I went like 3 weeks without getting any raid pieces at all for this character, so it kind of paid off at the end. So this is probably one of the coolest helmets that you get out of the raid. The one for the hunter is also really cool, but I think I like this one, which is Facade of the Hazen Lords. And as you can see, 30 plus light once you max it out with all the tiers covered, and then the gloves as well, and then you have the cuirass of Hazen Lords, and then you have the boots. This is what I would wear if I was raiding or playing PvE. If I was playing PvP or the matchmaking, I switch over to these robes. I switch over to these robes, and then that gives me an extra. I spawn with a grenade. I use the enhanced axiom bolts, which is really awesome. It's like tracer bolts with tracer grenades, basically, that follow the person around. There's no hiding around the corners when I'm playing it with this guy. If I was PvEing, such as doing the raid, I usually equip the Sunbreaker gauntlets, just because it extends the duration of my solar grenades, and then I switch over to my Sunsinger class, because the Sunsinger class is by far the most useful class in PvE, because you can self-res, because in hard mode Vault of Glass you can't res people. You have to wait until you get to the checkpoint, otherwise you're just wiping a lot. And then for the accessory, I use the Fragment of Prime. So yeah, that is all my armor that I use, and we'll quickly go into the tower, which is where I store all my weapons. So weapons are interchangeable between all the characters, so if you put them into the bank, each character can use weapons that you've already acquired and leveled up. So I generally, every single time I finish leveling or playing with one character, I put all my weapons into the bank. What I'm really hoping for is that eventually Bungie will implement an in-orbit bank system, so you can access all your weapons without having to go to the tower, but that's just my thing. So yeah, this ship right here that I'm using, this is a legendary ship that you actually get with completing the Vault of Glass on hard mode. If you only complete it on normal mode, you can still get the ship, but the only difference is it won't have that gold accenting, I guess that's what you call it, or detailing. So yeah. These load screens usually take a bit depending on where you're going, but I just logged in, so the game is not warmed up quite yet. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time playing with Destiny. I think it's mainly because I actually have a good group of friends that I play with. I don't think that I would have gotten this far into the game if I didn't have like a regular group of guys that I play with. So yeah, this is my bank of treasures of all the stuff I acquired. So the general stuff is the material you need to upgrade your armor. So this is what you need to upgrade legendary or exotic armor. This is what you need to upgrade legendary or exotic weapons, and these are the different materials you need as well. Motes of light and strange coins are used mainly to buy things from Zur, the Agent of 9, on the weekend. He actually should still be around right now as I record this video. But anyways, so these are all the weapons that I have in storage. I have the Super Good Advice, which I do not use because it has crazy recoil despite being an exotic weapon. You get that from completing a bounty that you get, so as well as the Pocket Infinity. The Monte Carlo was my favorite auto rifle for a very long time. This one is actually, from what I gather, a PlayStation exclusive, a timed exclusive. It's not available quite yet on Xbox 360 or Xbox One, but for a long time I was really rocking this one. But eventually I did get the Suros, which, although I like using the Monte Carlo just because it's fun to use because it shoots so fast, by far the Suros regime is the better of the two rifles. And then I have the Hazen Vengeance, which is a rocket launcher that I have not fully leveled up yet. You get this from the Vault of Glass. The Vault of Glass weapons are really cool because each one, even if it's a primary, it has an elemental damage. So when you're going through like the weekly Nightfall Strike, or you're going through raids, or if you're going through just different missions, having a primary weapon with an elemental damage is really, really useful. The only downside is that all the weapons that you get from the Vault of Glass are kind of like a poo brown color. You'll see what I mean later. So we move on. We got the Hard Light, which is one of the more recent ones that I acquired. I haven't leveled it up yet completely, but yeah, it's just basically a really fast shooting auto rifle. This one was the most broken weapon in the game up until last week for PvP and PvE, and they recently nerfed it. It's the Vex Mythoclast. It's still really, really good for PvE. I don't really use it that much for PvP anymore just because it's not as good long range as the Suros regime, so I kind of stopped using it. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. When I first saw it, it reminded me of a weapon that you would expect to see in like Mass Effect or something like that, like a Geth rifle or something. So yeah, it looks really cool. So we also have the Suros regime, which is by far the best auto rifle in the game. If you are ever playing against some serious players in the matchmaking, they're usually always rocking this weapon, so it's probably one of the most common weapons you'll see. It sounds really cool too when you shoot it. Have the Shadow Price. If I want to use an exotic secondary, I generally use this weapon. So if I want to use like the Invective or something like that, it's just an overall decent auto rifle. Basically, if you know the game, it's just a better version of the Shingen E. Yeah. The only thing that kind of hampers it a bit is that it shoots really fast and it only has a 25 round magazine. So yeah. So basically, for PvP, once you get the last perk, there's really no point of upgrading any further, because all these do is, because matchmaking scales damage, then there's really no point of upgrading these parts at all and using your Ascendant Energy. So you're only using Ascendant Energy for weapons that you plan to use in the PvE, such as the raid and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why that's not upgraded. We also have the Fatebringer, which is one of my favorite weapons as of late to use. It's really, really cool. Once again, a weapon that you get in the Vault of Glass, which is why it's poo brown. But it's a primary weapon that does arc damage, which is really, really handy, especially if you're doing like the weekly Nightfall Strike, where there's usually some sort of a damage burn. So in the weekly Nightfall Strike, it's just a really, really hard strike mission set at level 28. And if your entire team wipes, they get sent directly to orbit. There's no respawn at all. And so having a weapon with an elemental ability is really handy. Vision of Confluence, once again another weapon that you get from the Vault of Glass. Once again, a poo brown color. This thing right here just means that there's oracles in the vault, so this weapon does more damage to them. Yeah. Also a very, very fun weapon to use PvE. This one is Atheon's Epilogue once again. Whoops. I actually took it out. Once again, another weapon that you get from the vault. Not that great. It doesn't really do that much damage, as you can tell by its very low impact rate. The only reason why I keep it is for the weekly Nightfall Strike, just in case that week there may be a void damage bonus, which is purple damage. So yeah, moving on, we have the Calming, which is my favorite weapon to use, one of my favorite weapons to use in the vault. It does void damage, which is really good for the Minotaurs and the Praetorians, and as well, if you kill people or enemies with it, you get a chance for bonus ammo, so I never run out of ammo, which is really, really useful, which is why it's one of the few weapons that, the few non-legendary weapons that I've maxed out. So yeah. Moving on to Invective, full auto shotgun, which is exotic, which regenerates ammo over time. This one was one of those gold bounties that you get from the bounty guy. For some reason, I just decided I had an abundance of Ascendant energy left, and I really didn't care, so I leveled this one up all the way. So yeah, I just bought this today because I maxed out. You only can carry 200 Vanguard marks, and I maxed it out, and I needed a sniper rifle with arc damage. I was hoping to get a Patience in Time exotic sniper rifle, which is really, really sweet, which also has arc damage, but no luck so far, so I decided just to buy this one. Alrighty, then we also have the Supremacy, which is a pretty hard-hitting sniper rifle. This is one that you got from the Queen's Quest, which was available a couple weeks ago. It does void damage, which is really, really useful, and the perks it has is actually really useful for PvP. It has double down, and which gives you ammo, has a chance of getting ammo when you die, and life support, recovering from health. Recovering from near death grants additional ammo. It's really useful because if you're playing like First Light or Bastion and you're sniping, then sometimes you just constantly have to recoup ammo, but with this weapon, if you die, then sometimes you get ammo. So yeah, if I'm playing PvP or matchmaking, I generally use this one. And then I have the ultimate sniper rifle for PvE, which is the Icebreaker. What makes this weapon so sweet for for PvE is that it hits really hard, but as well, it regenerates ammo over time. It can't refill with green packs, and you can only carry a maximum of 6 rounds, but that 6th round is constantly refreshing, so you can never run out of ammo, so which is really, really awesome. So I maxed this one out as well. And then also have some shotguns. Once again, haven't maxed out because there's no point to beyond getting the last perk. My preferred shotgun is actually this one, the Judgment, just because it has good range and impact. So yeah, it's a New Monarchy shotgun. It's not the one that you buy. I found this one, so the perks are a bit different. I got this rocket launcher like the first week that I played. Haven't really used that much, just because I've been actually holding out to try to get the Gallahorn, which is a far superior rocket launcher, but it is what it is. I got it and I decided to level it up, and it does void damage. And then the last weapon I have is the Corrective Measure. Once again, another Vault of Glass weapon. As you can tell, it's poo brown. It does void damage. Well, which is really cool is that in PvE, you can find more. It drops more purple packs to pick for you to pick up. So yeah, pretty useful. But yeah, anyways, that is all my characters in Destiny for those of you guys who are still playing it. This is the characters that I plan to use in matchmaking, so if I post any more matchmaking videos, this is what you can expect to see, and what you guys can expect me to be using if I don't level them up any further for whenever. I think it's December when the next batch of DLC comes out. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, for those of you who are still playing Destiny. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop the video a quick rating, and I shall see you guys next time, alright? As always, have a fantastic day.